Good morning, beautiful people, and Kamala Harris. Welcome to J-Tech Studios, baby. Today, we've got part 3 of the Kamala Harris and Tim Walz first interview with CNN by Dana Bash. And without further ado, we bring
Governor
to
Walz,
you part 3 of the
country
interview.
is just starting to get to know you. I want to ask you a question about how you've described your service in the National Guard. You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor.
Answer the question,
my record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns. So I think people know me. They know who I am.
You're
they
good
know
at maneuvering
where my heart is. And again,
questions.
my record has been out there for over 40 years to speak for itself.
And
did you even answer the
idea that you
freaking
said
question,
that you were
dude?
in war? Yeah. Did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar's not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog.
All right, that's
Whoa,
BS,
whoa,
dude.
whoa,
Call you out
dude.
on it, man.
I've never been so grammared incorrect.
It wasn't grammar incorrect, man. He ran up and down a stage proudly talking to whoever that group of people was. Talking
Sergeant
about,
Commander Walz.
Yeah, first of all, that's not your rank and title. And also, you were giving this speech in front of whoever, and you were very passionate in it, talking about how you carried a weapon of war, a weapon of war into war. And it's a big difference. Now, you were, again, I will say thank you for your service, you know.
I'm not.
You know what? I mean, I know you're not, and I know why. Now, had he not made the 2 lies, the 2 stolen valor lies that he made, I think you would have. If he was just a serviceman and didn't lie about his rank that he calls himself, which is untrue, and the lie about carrying a weapon of war. And I don't even want to call it a weapon of war because I don't think an AR-style rifle is a weapon of war, but whatever, they call it that. If he didn't lie about carrying a weapon of war into war, we would both say, thank you for your service. We don't believe that in the armed forces that you have to actually see combat to get praise from the people of this country that we appreciate how you joined the military. You know, but when you start lying about your achievements,
he left the military as soon as he got deployment papers.
Well, exactly. When you start lying about
You're
your
a
achievements, then it becomes a whole nother scenario altogether, and that is what people are upset about. Should never happen.
You're a
Tim.
coward. That's
Should
what
never
I
happen.
think.
You're a coward.
I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have.
You're saying that because
I'm
you
not
don't
demeaning anybody's service.
You're saying that because you don't want people to demean your service, and we're not. We're talking about the lies that you are telling.
And I never will.
I just one other question, because again, this is all new.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not however many days ago. This was not on either of your bingo cards, especially yours. You had to clarify.
Third time
that
she's having that.
You had said that you and your wife used IVF, but it turned out you used a different kind of fertility in order to have children. And then when you ran for Congress in 2006, your campaign repeatedly made false statements about a 1995 arrest for drunk and reckless driving. What do you say to voters who aren't sure whether they can take you at your word?
Well, I've been very public. I think they can see my students come out, former folks I've served with.
I'm sorry.
Well, this is what happens when Tim Walz gets brought on as a side piece.
Yeah, he probably should not have
probably
been here.
shouldn't have been to this interview, buddy.
Yeah,
And we wouldn't have this conversation right now. But you're
wouldn't have gotten brought up.
you're a convicted DWI guy, and you stole valor.
All right, let me see what she says real quick.
arrest for drunk and reckless driving. What do you say to voters who aren't sure whether they can take you at your word?
Well, I've been very public. I think they can see my students come out, former folks I've served with, and they vouch for me. I certainly own my mistakes when I make them. The one thing I'll tell you is I wished in this country wouldn't have to do this. I spoke about our infertility issues because it's hell, and families know this. And I spoke about the treatments that were available to us that had those beautiful children there. That's quite a contrast in folks
Really
that are
good at
trying
sidestepping questions.
to take those rights away from us. And so I think people know who I am. They know that record. They've
neither
seen that.
one
I've
of them
taught
really
thousands of
answered any
students.
kind
I've
of
been out
question.
there. And I won't apologize for speaking passionately, whether it's guns in schools or protecting of reproductive rights. The contrast could not be clearer between what we're running against. The vice president's position on this has been clear. And I think most Americans get it if you've been through that. I don't think they're cutting hairs on IVF or IUI. I think what they're cutting hairs on is an abortion ban and the ability to be able to deny families the chance to have a beautiful child.
She asked you about your DWI.
Vice President Harris, you were a very
what that was
staunch
about.
defender of President Biden's capacity
But
to
they
serve
said-
Not to
another
mention
4
he
years right
pled
after
deaf.
the debate.
He pled
beautiful child.
deaf to get out of the DWI.
He pled.
He pled deaf, like I can't hear, to get out of a DWI.
Has that been fact checked?
I
Do we know?
believe so.
Yeah, we heard something about when he got the DWI, he pled that he, or told the cops or whoever that he was deaf. I don't know why that makes a difference when you're drinking and driving. It's a drinking and driving charge, not driving while deaf charge, which ain't even a thing.
Well, I mean, this is Minnesota.
Vice President
It's been a what?
This is Tim Walz' home state of Minnesota. I mean, anything can go there. I don't
That's
know.
true.
This
Who
is-
knows? There we go.
Harris,
Whatever.
you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years. Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
You lied.
No, not at all. Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly. He cares so deeply about the American people. He is so smart and
Then where is he? Then where is he, Kamala? And we're gonna have to get through this too. We barely made it a quarter way through, but where's he at? You know?
and loyal
And what's he
to the
been
American
doing?
people. And I have spent hours upon hours with him, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. He has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition
Of a goat,
that I think the American people rightly
and
deserve
not the greatest
in
of
their
all time
president.
goat. An actual
By contrast,
goat.
the former president has none of that. And so,
He has the former president has none of
am
what?
so proud to have served as vice president to Joe Biden. And I think the American people rightly deserve in their president. By contrast, the former president has none of that.
And like she was saying.
And
his
so,
love for the people,
one,
blah,
I
blah,
I
blah, blah,
am so
blah.
proud to have served as vice president to Joe Biden. And two, I am so proud to be running with Tim Walz,
Tampon-
President of the United States, and to bring America what I believe the American people deserve, which is a new way forward, and turn the page on the last decade of what I believe.
The new way forward is the same way we've
The
been
last-
living for 3.5 years, created
it's-
by you and Joe Biden. That's the new way forward.
Well, she said
And
the
worse.
last decade. I mean, the last
Yeah,
decade,
well-
I mean, that goes all the way into Obama's era.
Well, she won't tell us what the new way forward is. That's the problem. She
Yo.
won't say.
Yo, in the last decade, Obama still had 2 years left of his term.
Yeah, you had Obama, then you had Trump, and then you had Biden and Harris.
This shit show.
Yeah, it's been last decade's mainly been controlled by the Liberal Party.
believe has been contrary to where the spirit of our country really lies.
But the last decade, of course, the last
I'm sorry, and when I say Liberal Party, what I mean is the far progressive, far left Liberal Party.
3.5 years has been part of your
Big
administration.
difference.
Oh,
I'm
that,
talking
she
about
brought
an
it up.
era. that
She
started
got her.
about a decade ago, where there is some suggestion, warped, I believe it to be.
Warped. Someone
That-
get her a calculator.
The measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, instead of where I believe most Americans are, which is to believe that the true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what's at stake as much as any other detail that we could discuss in this election.
You've had your foot on the back of
because
my neck for
we
the
haven't
last
had a chance
4 years.
to talk. I'm just curious, staying on President Biden, when he called you and said he was pulling out of the race, what was that like? And did he offer to endorse you right away, or did you ask for it?
It was a Sunday, so here I'll give you a little too much information.
Go for it.
It was a Sunday, and y'all all called him and cooed him out of it. I don't think he called you and said he's dropping out of the race. I'm pretty sure you knew well before him.
There's no
But tell
such
us. I
thing
want to hear the
as Vice
story, though.
President.
Hang on. Let's see.
My family was staying with us.
Okay, cool.
And
Little get-together.
including my baby nieces.
Nice.
And we had
Her
just
Indian
had
family.
pancakes and, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to
Hold up, man.
Yeah,
Hold up.
wait,
Hold.
do
Whoa,
Indians eat
whoa.
bacon?
Indians do not eat bacon.
Hang on.
I am pretty sure of it.
Hang on. Time out. 1 second.
She is trying to be black again. I am certain of that.
Okay. I just did a quick search here, and it says yes, some Indians eat bacon and pork consumption in India is increasing.
Okay, you fact checked me.
I did, but I thought so too. Many Hindus abstain from pork. However, most Hindus in the country do restrict their meal consumptions in some way. For some, this includes avoiding pork, although pork is not banned by Hindu religious texts. I think it is cows. Don't they cherish cows?
Yeah.
So you don't eat the cow, but you eat pork. Everybody loves some bacon. Ain't nobody. No, I don't think Christians. Don't they? Doesn't it say in the Bible like swine is an
Old
terrible
Testament.
Old Testament.
Yep.
What
Old
about
Testament,
Jewish?
you couldn't eat catfish either.
I don't think really. Catfish? Are they that dirty? You and I were talking about catfish the other day. I'm like, that's like one of the only fish I like. So I like the bottom feeding nappy fish.
In the Old Testament, you could not eat fish that did not have scales.
They don't have scales.
Nope.
Why don't they have
And
scales?
you
What,
could
they
not-
got skin?
Yeah. But you could not eat fish without scale, and you could not eat pig
Wow.
because those were like dirty creatures. I mean, catfish. I mean, they swim along the bottom of the lake, and they eat all the garbage. Same with the pig.
I'm gonna tell you all too. Watching this makes John so upset. He had to go get a Snickers bar. You know them commercials when you're hangry, eat a Snickers. And he's like kind of smiling over there. Look at a little smile over there. Got him a Snicker bar so he can watch Kamala Harris throw gibberish and lies and hypocrisy at us. You go, John. Let's
do a
go.
puzzle.
Let's get through this.
Trying to
And
get
the
through it,
phone
so you
rang.
Almost
don't have
there.
to.
And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes.
Her head nods
And,
killing me, man. It killed me, dude. Give me some of that
And
Snickers.
that's how I learned about it.
And what about the endorsement? Did you ask for it?
And he was very clear that he was going to support me.
So when he called to tell you, he said, I'm pulling out of the race and I'm going to support you.
Well, my first thought was
The
not
people who
about me, to be
control
honest with you.
him told
My
him
first thought was
that.
about him, to be honest.
I love
think
how she
history is
almost
going to
teared
show a number of things about Joe Biden's presidency.
She's been working on that.
I think history is going to show that in so many ways it was transformative, be it on what we have accomplished around finally investing in America's infrastructure, investing in new economies, in new industries, what we have done to bring our allies back together and have confidence in who we are as America and grow that alliance. what we have done to stand true to our principles, including the one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity.
What?
And I think
Well, she has a look on her face like, man, I wish this interview would hurry up, be over, so I can have another drink.
What integrity? Because something integrity, the sovereignty of territorial integrity. I mean, but this is coming. I know this is kind of slightly different, but slightly the same. She is the one who said that she would snatch a patent right out from under a company. You know, where's the integrity in that?
true to our principles, including the one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Okay.
And I think history is going to show not only has Joe Biden led an administration that has achieved those extraordinary successes, but the character of the man is one that he has been in his life and career, including as a president, quite selfless and puts the American people first.
I just have to ask you both about two standout moments, aside, of course, from the addresses that you both gave, but standout moments that were perhaps unexpected during the convention. You mentioned one of them, Governor.
Yeah, that standout moment,
A moment
where
that you
jerked your
shared,
kid
that
across
the
the stage.
world shared with
That
your
was his
son,
son.
Gus. You were speaking, the camera caught
Oh,
him.
there he is.
So incredibly proud of you, so emotional, saying,
Show
that's
us.
my dad.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know if y'all have seen it, and I do apologize for the constant pausing, but there was a moment after this where they bring the whole family on the stage, and Tim Walz has his son's hand, and he's following him, and his kid wasn't moving slow or nothing, not doing anything, just walking with his dad, and Tim yanked his hand, jerked him towards him while giving him a very ugly and stern look on his face like the kid had done something wrong. This kid right here, this is your son, Tim. Look at him crying, supporting you, you know. He's proud of you. He's proud of your achievements. No matter how misguided your achievements are that he thinks you've achieved, he's proud of you and what you've done. He's proud of who you are, the man you've become, the lives you've changed. In his eyes, he's looking at it in a positive way. We may not be, but, and then you go on stage with them. I mean, your son is crying because he's so proud of you. And y'all go on stage and you yank him like he's a dog on a leash. You yank him and then you give him this look of ill contempt. You give him this look that he's some sort of peasant or that he's
It may
some
have been
sort
a
of-
brief look, but it was a look.
Oh, it
dude.
was a look, dude. I know that look, man. I've seen that look, you know. It's an ugly look, and it was a horrible thing you did. And I'm sorry. I'm only sorry it was caught on camera because of your son right here, not because of you. In fact, I'm glad it was caught on camera. I'm only sorry because
Then
of
the
him.
American people actually see who you are,
Yeah.
and we see you, Timmy.
We see you. If you can do that to your son, then what are you capable of doing to us?
Still valor.
I don't know as a father I could have ever imagined that. I'm grateful for so many reasons to be on this ticket, but that moment, to understand what was really important, to have my son feel a sense of pride in me, that I was trying to do the right thing. And
Show
it
the other
was,
clip,
when
please.
you try and protect your kids, you know, it brings notoriety and things, but it was just such a visceral,
Fox
emotional
News, we
moment that
got the other
I'm just
clip.
I'm grateful I got to experience it, and I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Hope. I'm proud of Gwen. She's a wonderful mother, and these are great kids. And I think the one thing is talking about the era we're in is our politics can be better. It can be different. We can show some of these things, and we can have families involved in this. And I hope that there was I hope people felt that out there, and I hope they hug their kids a little tighter because you just never know, and life can be kind of hard.
And last question, Madam Vice President, the photograph that has gone viral. You were speaking, one of your grandnieces that you were just
Probably
talking
yes.
about.
Let me move you on the corner there.
That
What
photograph? Oh, I hope
Looks
it's
like
not.
a meme.
I hope it's not that one.
Looks like a meme.
I thought they were going to talk about the photograph of Donald Trump getting shot that's standing behind the flag like that, or in front of the flag.
I thought it was going to be a photograph of her and Willie Brown doing
Gone
the
viral.
dirty.
You were speaking, one of your grandnieces that you were just talking
Yes.
about. was watching you accept the nomination. You didn't explicitly talk
because
about
that's her
gender
niece down there,
or
or-
race in
Yeah, I
your
guess so.
speech, but it obviously means a lot to a lot of people, and that viral
back up
picture
top,
really
please.
says it. What
Thank
does
you.
it mean to you?
You know, I am running because I believe that I am the best person to do this job at this moment, for all Americans, regardless of race and gender. But I did see that photograph, and I was deeply touched by it. And you're right, it's the back of her head, her two little braids, and then I'm in the front of the photograph, obviously speaking. And it's very humbling. It's very humbling in many ways.
Did she talk to you about it afterwards?
Oh, she had a lot to talk about.
That would be a cool shot.
She listened to everything, and she listens to everything.
Give you your hot takes?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Madam Vice President, Governor Walz, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time. You really answered nothing.
We know no more now than we did prior to this interview. We got to sit here and watch her lie, fumble, and stumble. The hypocrisy is crazy as well. The flip-flopping is nuts. We don't know really what she truly stands for. And no matter what we hear her say, even if she does throw some policy at us, you better believe that if she gets in office, whatever she stands for today will completely flip tomorrow.
Well, you heard what she said, I think, in part 2 of this video. Her moral values have not changed. She has not changed from the time that she's went into office. So every principle that she ever stood for, she is still standing for.
Yep.
So no matter what lie she says right here, right now, her values has not changed.
No, not at all. If y'all took something from that, if there was some kind of deep meaning that made you feel some sort of other way about her, got you voting in her corner, maybe you're in her corner, now you're not in her corner, leave it in the chat below, please. I really like to hear what people think. It's tough to do these podcasts, these interviews, because they're so long and they can be so damn boring. But it is important to know what the leader of the free world is about, what their policies are, who they are as a person, just like we're talking about Tampon Tim snatching his kid across the stage like a dog on the leash. You know, it's little things like that that I like to look for. You know, who are you really? You know,
Well,
what
I mean,
happens when
even
cameras aren't rolling?
Every question that he was even asked, I mean, he did the waltz right around them.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's
Pun
good, man.
intended.
No, you're right. He did. He's very sneaky with his words, and he just tiptoed around every question asked of him. Man, I didn't like it at all. I did not like that interview one bit. But I am happy that she finally did an interview, because I don't know a single person that can get a job in this country without doing an interview first. And I thought she was just going to walk her way there by hiding in the basement like Joe did last semester or last term, and just hide and avoid the cameras. I guarantee you we see a lot more of her avoiding the cameras. Now that she did this interview, we probably won't see her till the first debate, if there is a first debate. And lastly, remember, guys, we're all one people, all right? We're all one race, the human race. Man, we love you no matter who you are, black to white, anything in between. Doesn't matter what religion you're a part of or not a part of. Doesn't matter if you're straight or gay. That kind of stuff don't matter to us. As long as you've got love and respect for mankind, then we love and respect you. This is J-Tech Studios. Please hit the like, the subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave us a comment below. We love you, America, all of you, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.